There was a van that's leaving. All the police officers are now retreating after there was a huge scene here with about 50 officers just a few minutes ago.
Okay, I'm here. Okay, we've gone live because you seem to be. I got it as quickly as I could. James, talk us through what happened.
So we actually, can you hear me from through the mic?
Yes, I can.
Okay, so we actually missed the action here, but there was a lot of cops. There was about 50 cops that came down. They even had one of them police vans that stopped as well. It was just an anti-Occupy person causing some trouble. Eventually, the police moved in and led him away. So he is not present anymore at the scene. The troublemaker is gone. But one thing, if you look at the holsters of the cops, they don't have their guns, right? He's just put his hand in his holster, right? His gun. And this guy has a glove where his gun normally is. So in a crowded situation, they can't come in armed. So they do enter these crowds unarmed. On the side, but you'll see he's unarmed on the other side. But they cleared away the protester, anti-Occupy protester, and he's left the scene. So things are kind of returning back to normal again.
So someone has come in who's anti-protest, and they've caused a stir, and now they've been taken away.
Right, they've been taken away, and most likely they're just going to be released around the corner.
Could you go around the corner? Do you know which way they went?
Actually, I didn't chase them down, but they're gone. I'm probably too late now, but they are gone. But what they normally do is any troublemaker, unless there is physical contact, like unless there is physical violence, they will just let them go around the corner.
Right. Okay. And that's what you witnessed the other day.
Exactly. And while I was filming, they're actually going to put him onto a cab. They thought against that because I was filming right there, so they didn't actually put him into a cab because they don't want that image, and they just let him go a couple blocks down.
Are you able to, when you're not on air with us, have you got enough battery to record stuff like that?
Yeah, I definitely do have enough battery to record when we're not on the air. So this is where all the commotion was just a few minutes back. It was at this exact spot. As you can see, it's rather clear now, so we did miss whatever happened here. Instead, everyone's surrounding the shrine, the pig shrine,
Yes.
the one yesterday. It's really gained in popularity. You can see everyone's all around it. I can't even get in the front anymore. But it's just the Taoist with the food, the incense. That's what everyone's all around right now. So things have calmed down, so people are leaving the scene. I'm going to try.
Ask somebody, maybe I'll go up to someone and ask them if they're okay with being on air and get their statement, like get their feedback on what happened.
Yeah, sure. Actually, I was just going to say, let me find one of the volunteers who's near here. They were actually just sitting in front of where the things have happened. So let's see if we can get a summary of what just happened here.
Yeah, that'd be really good. Hey, Jamie. Sorry, we ended up setting up 2 live streams there. James was just in my Skype going, "Oh, you got to come on now!" So quickly as I could, I just set something up.
Yeah, I did too. I was like,
I didn't.
I've got almost.
It's good that we're efficient. It's good that we're.
It automatically makes them for me.
Oh, okay.
So
We kind of missed the big action where they had 50 cops down.
Yeah.
give me a recap what actually happened because I missed it while I was.
It sounds like it was an anti-protester that came in and caused some trouble, and then they were shepherded away by the police, but they'll probably be let go around the corner, is what James is saying.
Right.
I gotta delete my tweet that I sent out with the wrong one.
Oh yeah, let me send you this one.
So I am running low on battery, and this is the shop where they allow everyone to charge their phones. So I'm going to see if I can still buy like a portable battery pack and just support them.
That'd be really cool.
They've been so good for the movement. I want to see if I can buy a battery pack here. 係，咁我而家咧我係行緊做嘢，不過我唔交唔走住，咁我諗可唔可以買一個位行下都差㗎。So I've told him my problem, which is, I'm walking around and I'm going to need this to keep going. So if he has a battery pack for me, he can recommend. So I would just want to support local business here. It's a mom and pop shop, which is supporting the movement by letting people charge. So let's do the same and buy something from their shop. Okay, cool. Okay, so he's recommended this one right here, which says it's perfect. So I'm going to buy this right now.
Great.
Okay, I got my tweets. I retweeted the right address as a reply to my wrong address one that I tweeted.
因為呢個耳仔咧，一個而家呢度聽唔到嘛，喺呢度錯。我以為我買咗一個就可以駁麥，一個就可以擺耳仔。不過而家我睇咁我真係唔知道喎，呢度應該係出聲嘅。係。如果你攞咗嚟做咪嘅話咧，咁你就可能呢度會聲會出聲。明白。咁都唔使兩條線喎。係啦。因為你已經撞咗你。咁冇得放你。Uh-oh。係。或者可能呢條線可唔可以幫佢再急落去㗎？係，定係你鋪係好大力，係，我驚冷㗎，唔會。而家就有電嘅。係啦，因為而家比較多電。唔該。OK，幾錢啊
？Ooh, upside down video.
Alright, so
Yeah, I was trying to figure out what that was. I thought it was a leg at first. I thought it was somebody's sexy leg, and then I figured, oh, no, that's an arm. It's a great lesson on perception. For almost 3 hours this morning. I think it was about 2.5 hours before I lost James in the subway. It was very interesting going around looking at all the artwork.
It's so loud. Oh, you're upside down, James. Turn the camera the other way up.
So that's the general song that they sing to pro-Occupy protesters, which is Happy Birthday to You. And they're about to let him go.
Close to the mic. Stand back from the mic.
He's saying, I will return back to the scene if you let me go here. So, looks like they don't want to let him go here now that he's saying he will return back to the scene. It looks like they're going to take him back a few more blocks away from the main protest area. Because he's insisting, if you let me go here, I will return back.
James, you're peaking on the sound, James.
Anti-Occupy protesters is by singing Happy Birthday to You. Happy Birthday to You is the song that they sing to anti-Occupy protesters to get rid of it. And he's acknowledged them by giving them a thumbs down. He's acknowledged them by giving them a big thumbs down. So we're just going to follow them and see where this leads to. Will they arrest him? Will they just release him around the corner? We'll just take a look.
No, you said what? This guy was an anti-Occupy?
Yes.
They're just going to let him go at the train station. Tell him don't come back and don't cause a scene. So that they've decided to get him at a train station. So let's just keep going again and see what happens. Station, they might go to a bus station, but they've decided against releasing him at a public train station. What I can assure you is they're definitely not going to take him to a police station. That's one thing we are sure of. But where the Hong Kong police decide to let him go, we'll see. It might be a public minibus, but this is the complaint that they were getting against the thugs. So even the thugs that attacked the students are being let go like this. You can see a big crowd has followed, policing the police here in Hong Kong to make sure that the police actually do their jobs after they release criminals without processing or booking them before.
James, can you get a little bit further back from the microphone because you're peaking?
Right, so now we're going to cross the road. Everyone's wondering where on earth the police are taking this anti-Occupy protester. They're saying, where are you taking him? Where are you taking him? We're now about 2 blocks away from the site of where all the commotion happened. As a Hong Kong resident, where do you think they should be taking this criminal? To the police station? So we are going to see, do they take him to Mong Kok police station, or do they just put him onto its public transport and let him go? We'll document and see what exactly Hong Kong police do.
James, can you try turning down the level on your microphone, maybe? That'll help with the peaking.
I'm not sure you can hear us. James, can you hear us? Maybe too noisy.
So they're not putting him on a taxi, they're not putting him on an MTR train. You know, the accusation now is that it might be a minibus.
Well, they can't really do much when you're following them around.
So we're following along. We're now about 2 blocks from the protest site. So they're actually circling the block. All they've made is one big circle without making much progress. We started over there, and as you can see, we've just actually circled the block without going anywhere. And it seems like a real waste of time, this activity. They're not leading to the station. not leading him to a public transport. All they seem to be doing is walking around Mont Coq in circles.
James, can you hear us? Can you respond if you can hear us?
You can listen in to actually what they're saying.
James, can you hear me and Chris?
No, he can't hear us. Let's just let it roll.
Because they know they're being recorded currently, so they might not be doing what they might usually do, which is by now he probably would have been released by now if we weren't here. So as we cross the street, we see another group of officers. Now they've decided to stay here. So they're joined by reinforcement now. Three officers, about 10 police officers working, including one in a white shirt. There's a more senior police officer here. So now the number of people who are taking this officer around Mont Coq have gone from 3, 4 to about 10. So now we're about 2 blocks away from the main site now. We still don't have a clue where they're taking him. We've passed all kinds of public transport, but we're just going to continue on and see where this road leads us.
Maybe if you back off a little bit. Can you hear us at all there, James?
No, he can't hear us. Let's just let it roll because there's nothing we can do.
So this police officer in white has just stood in front of me. So I'm just going to get out of his way and get closer again. Wish I had my belt today. Actually, I've lost so much weight in this movement, my chains are actually falling down while trying to report this story. So the guy said "Ciao," which means in Cantonese "go." He's saying, when am I being released? When am I being let go? And it's like the police are telling him, you're being watched, so I'm sorry, we can't let you go early. We have to maybe take you to the station, or at least appear like we're doing our job. It's kind of what is the message to the guy. So us being here, rather than just the mob, may lead to this man actually being taken to a police station. Who knows? I personally haven't seen this yet. So far, I've seen every person who's been arrested been let go at a taxi station or just being let go a couple blocks away. This is the first time I'm actually walking with the police officers towards the police station. You see, he pointed at me, saying I'm the one responsible for him being led this far. He's very aggressive right now. He doesn't look happy. His emotions are quite aggressive. His mannerisms are aggressive again. But the police have calmed him down. The police have calmed him down once again. These accusations being thrown at the anti-Occupy protester is about being paid to the that they've been paid to be here. So they're saying the police are in collusion with these local thugs. So, but us actually being here present, we are making sure that the police do prosecute these troublemakers and do take them to the station. Because there's no way they would have done their jobs if we were not here live filming, taking them to the station. So you can see what kind of an impact we've already had. We actually are helping the police do their jobs. By recording them, they actually do take suspects to the station. When they're not recorded, the police seem to be letting go of these suspects at taxi stations, at bus stations, just letting them go before we get there. But this is the first time, this is absolutely the first time I can confirm I have seen a protester who has not been physical being taken to a police station. This still may not be the case, but at least we are headed towards there, and we will investigate and see if they do open a file on the suspect. Will they actually file charges? Will they interview him? Will they have his fingerprints taken? Or will they just let him go at the station as well? We will wait there and see and monitor the situation. So we were able to film and witness. We were able to film and witness the situation unfolding, and now we've been able to follow the suspect all the way to the police station. Now we're going to see if the police do book and process him, and if they do, under what charges. And if they don't process him and let them go, we will ask why as well. So we are approaching Mongkok Police Station, which is in the Prince Edward District, and here is the suspect being hugged by 2 police officers on each side, being protected from the other crowd. We have decided to stay a bit back and about 5 meters behind now. He's been escorted by eight officers, and 1 suspect has been escorted. And we are approaching Mongkok Police Station now. So as you can see, the citizens have forced the police to do their job and have taken, finally, we can see an anti-Occupy protester being taken to a police station. Now, we will see if he gets booked or immediately released. Is there a crime he's going to be charged with? Are there going to be charges against this gentleman? Or is he going to get released immediately? We will see what happens and follow up with the story. So, people are not allowed to the police is actually taken into the station. This was breaking news. They've actually taken an to the station. Now everyone the other doors to make sure he isn't immediately released. The students are going to be at every exit to ensure this person gets for the crime that he has committed here tonight. The students will not let him go and will make sure he won't just exit from the side. Now we see there's a lot more officers have come up to the front gate. From 3, 4, now there's like 15, 20 of them now approaching and guarding the main door here. So you can see by bringing the 1 protester to the actual Mongkok police station, it's caused a lot of commotion here, a lot of commotion, a lot of emotion. We can listen in. So someone, I'm not sure exactly what he screamed at me, but I had the word "hor," if you can hear. Someone just shouted at me for covering this. So now that they've taken the suspect to Mongkok police station, about 30 officers have somehow appeared at the main gate, at the main entrance. I don't know why there are this many officers present, because there are barely any protesters out here, and me. So I don't know why they've suddenly put 30 guys in front of me. I'm pretty harmless with a camera and a mic, but this is the situation here, breaking live in Mongkok at 11:45 p.m. Excuse me, sir. Will he be booked and charged tonight? Will there be charges? So the officers said they are under investigation. I had asked them if he will be booked or not, and they said he is still under investigation. So we will continue to monitor the situation and see what happens to an anti-Occupy protester in Hong Kong. Do they get booked? Do they get released? we will try and get the truth and see what happens to an anti-Occupy protester in Hong Kong when they cause trouble in a crowd. What do the police do? So it looks like it's going to be quite calm here. So I'm just going to switch off for about 5 minutes. I'm going to switch up the equipment, and we'll be back in 5 minutes, okay?
Okay.
We're now.
Can you hear us, by the way?
So I'm going to switch up the audio and the mics. We'll be back on air in 5 minutes. I'll be back.
Okay, mate. Okay. Now is an opportune moment to do a little timestamp. We are at block height 324,422 with a Merkle route BACD 432713, etc. So wow, that was quite dramatic. I hope that we don't lose James. I've got my Skype open. I just hope he's okay. He looked like he had people behind him that were following him around, but then it looks like those protesters went around to the other exits of that police station. And what is being alleged here by the protesters, by the Occupy movement, is that the police are not arresting the pro-Beijing disruptors. So there are people coming in allegedly at the behest of the pro-communist party into Hong Kong. They're causing trouble, they're committing acts of violence, and then the police are literally just picking them up. As you could see, the gentleman that was under investigation was not handcuffed, he was not restrained in any way. In fact, if anything, he was leading the police. There were moments where he was walking off and the police were following him, I noticed. I was actually going through the recorded footage as I was listening to James. I had 2 windows open. It looked as though he was leading the police and the police were just taking him around in circles. But because we had witnesses there, and particularly because James is now in the habit of telling the police, I'm live, I'm on YouTube, the police are now realizing that even if they seize his camera, they can't stop the footage from going out. It's already being streamed to a server in another country.
You can't stop the signal.
You can't stop the signal. And so what's happened is the police have obviously gone, okay, well, we're just going to have to take you back to Mong Kok police station. But as soon as the protesters got there, the police just ganged up around the doorway. And the suspicion now is that the police are not going to book that, that violent protester. And they're not going to do it properly. Okay, James is back with us. James, can you hear us?
Yes, I can now. Actually, it was such a rush, I couldn't hear a thing you guys were saying earlier.
Yes. You're just peaking a little bit, so just bear that in mind. Just keep a bit of a distance from the mic.
Okay, so we were in such a rush there. I was chasing them.
Yeah, no. It's all great. It's all great, though. We just want to be able to hear what you're saying.
Yeah, if you can turn down the input levels on your mic, that would help greatly.
Okay, so I'll keep a little distance from the mic. That was a little bit loud. So actually, what I was trying to say was
what does the sign say that this guy has with the cardboard sign?
The cardboard sign says
Chinese.
company. I'm not too sure what it says. Okay, so he is. I think he's not an anti-protester, he's a pro-Occupy protester, it seems like. Yeah, so it seems like he is against the police. This poster is against the police. He is a pro-supporter of the students. So he's out here demonstrating against the police. I think he's saying that the cops didn't do their jobs enough to protect the students.
Okay.
So this is the reaction from the police as the guy is actually giving his emotional speech there.
They look very annoyed.
Yeah, they really do look pissed off, don't they?
Very passionately, pleading to the cops, saying that, you guys didn't protect the students, you guys are in collusion with these staff. He's very upset as a citizen of Hong Kong, is very upset at the police for what they have done. And so he's just showing his emotion to the police. And actually, this place, right in front of where I am, there were no officers here present. It was only until when we chased that one suspect to the station that all these police officers started gathering at the door. I'm assuming it's to stop me, just so that I don't go in there. Because I was actually very surprised they actually brought the guy to the station. They were ready to let him go at the taxi stand, then they're ready to let him go again at the bus station, then ready to let him go again at the train station. But because I was following them everywhere, they couldn't do that. They didn't. That was bad PR, and they could not show on live television that they were releasing a suspect onto public transport. So that's why they took them all the way here to the police station, where the suspect is currently inside. And all the other students have actually left to go to the other entrances to make sure that they don't somehow sneakily release the suspect in another exit. So I think he wants to walk into the police station. So let's see what the police do. He's asking them if he can go inside the station. So he's asked the police officers if he can go inside the station, but I think he won't be allowed in there. But I don't see why not. He is just an ordinary citizen. It's a weekday at 50 p.m. I don't see why it would be such anything wrong for him to go into the station.
It's a public building.
Yes, a public building. Is this gentleman allowed to go into a police station? No, he's not allowed to go inside a public police station. Why can he not go inside a police station? I didn't understand his exact answer there, but the answer is no. I'm going to give it an experiment. I'm actually going to walk up the stairs and walk into a police station and just see what happens here. Okay, so as soon as I'm on the in to walk into a police station. So what he's saying is, unless you're reporting, they don't want you in the station unless you're there to report a crime, right? So he's got his arms folded, he's all in my face like this, he's right in my face, he's got a very tough stance, you know, he's got his arm right here, and he's physically blocking my way while I try and just go up one step. Another officer will come and stand in front of me, as you see here, the second guy. So every time I walk up a step, they will block my way. They don't want me in the station. So I'm not going to take another step. I'm just going to stand exactly where I am and just ask them.
That
can't go in a station.
You are recording or reporting a crime live on the internet.
This is my new phone. I just bought it. I lost my phone here a few hours ago, so I have to go report my lost phone. It was lost in Mong Kok District in Argyle Street. I would like to report my lost phone tonight. Okay, so I've been allowed. He says, wait a minute. He says, wait a minute. He asked me if I can understand Cantonese. I can understand a little Cantonese. My spoken Cantonese isn't as good, but I can understand about 50%. So yes, about half of what you say I can understand. Yes. 4 點 afternoon. Yeah. He's asking me, do I have an ID card?
Why do you need an ID card? Don't show him that.
I think the answer is maybe later, not right now, since that suspect is in there, but quite possibly later I can report my lost phone that I did lose earlier this afternoon. They're asking the gentleman in the front just not to get hurt and just please to just move to the side just to be safe, and he's complied graciously, and he is leaving the scene right now. But I guess I'll have to come back another time to report my lost phone because they don't seem receptive to that. Actually, this afternoon when I lost my phone, I called the police and they said I have to come to the station. So I'm actually here. So can I go in and complete? I have evidence. I did call the police this afternoon. You can check. Wait a moment. Okay, just wait a moment is the answer. So I'm just going to wait here. Hopefully I can report my lost phone tonight. And we can see what happens then. Because as you guys know, I just bought this phone today because of my phone getting stolen in the crowd earlier this afternoon.
Yeah, yeah, they shouldn't be able to keep you out of there. And I was going to say, you are reporting a crime. You're reporting on the internet of that guy that was a violent protester.
Jamie?
Yes. Can you hear me? Nope, we're having
Jamie?
audio problems. Yeah, your signal is getting worse there, James.
I lost my cell phone. And it's actually part of a case. It's a Motorola X. Okay, so I can't go in the station, but I am reporting my stolen phone out here at the station. Motorola X. It's a Moto X. Yes. It's a black Motorola X. Yes. Yes, but the SIM card is not active anymore because I've got a new SIM card and it's in this phone and they deactivated the old SIM card already. The company is CSL. Hong Kong ID card, okay. So now I'm going to show my Hong Kong identity card to the officer because I do have to report my lost phone. Just 1 second while I find my Hong Kong identity card.
Make sure you get a case number.
So I've given the officer my Hong Kong identity card, and he's writing down the details right now. So my case is being handled, but not inside the station. I've never seen this where my actual case gets handled outside the police station, but the inside, I guess it looks like that. They're a bit busy. You can see there is the anti-Occupy demonstrator there. He's still in the lobby. He hasn't been processed or booked yet. You can quite clearly see his face, and he's still sitting in the police station. They might be playing a game of, wait. When I leave, they might just release him. Who knows? But right now, he is in the station, which is strange, because normal procedure is he probably would have been taken behind by now and processed for fingerprints.
James, can you turn the camera?
From the actual camera, so we can't see him.
Can you turn the camera landscape?
Good question, actually. What's my number? 1 second, please. 9536.
You should mute yourself.
Mute audio. I don't want to give the whole world my
mute your audio.
1 second.
Yes, the dangers of being live.
Yes, unexpected information that you don't realize when you're live.
Yeah, exactly.
Now create a lost property case here at the station. Okay, thank you. And now I'm going to wait outside for the receipt for the lost property. Because I'm not being let in, and actually the suspect is not being processed. He's quite clearly being seen seated right in the lobby of the police station, which is why they don't want me in there, right? The suspect is still in the lobby. He's not being processed. If I wasn't here, he probably would have been released by now. But fortunately for me, I actually did lose my phone, so I do have to come to this police station to report my lost phone. So it's good timing, I guess, but I'm not being let in, even though I am a Hong Kong citizen. I'm born in Hong Kong. My baby's born in Hong Kong. I pay my tax. but I'm not being allowed into a police station to report my crime. I have to stand outside on the steps.
After you get your receipt, maybe if you go around the corner or something, maybe they'll let that guy go.
So they are actually turning away a lot of the members of the public, asking them to not come here to report crime.
Yeah, that's pretty bothersome to have police deal with crime.
So they are letting their own people in. They might be a police translator or just another member of staff supporting the police force. But civilians are not being let in right now.
I'm amazed that they just let you keep filming like that.
They're not going to speak in front of us, though, because they know we have a mic, so they've actually just said in Cantonese, don't talk here. Talk less.
Genius.
They're definitely not happy that we're here recording live. Although they might want to see you guys in England and America. Say hi. Chris is in England. Jamie's in America. Do you guys want to say hi to the world? We're broadcasting. He sees you talking. Let's see if they wave back at you. Chris just waved. Do you want to say hi to Chris, who's in London? Nope.
Oh, it's so miserable.
You know, they don't want to say hi back.
Grumpy.
We have no mood to communicate. All is very serious right now. And me, I'm a citizen. I'm not allowed into the station.
Well, that's because you're a troublemaker. You're just going to kick up trouble. You're just going to document.
Someone else is here to report a crime. So I'm going to report this guy who's causing trouble here. If he attacks me, or if he physically hits me, we're going to have it live on tape. So this looks like an anti-occupied person who's kind of just screaming at me here. Let's see if the police do their job. Do the police protect journalists? Do the police protect journalists, or will they let him harass me? And now that I mentioned that, what do they do? They protect me, because I brought up the point. Will they protect me? Yes, they will, if you bring it up. They've let him away from me now. The police have done their job. Thank you, thank you. They've let this troublemaker away from me. Perhaps my first time being trolled. You know, Chris, they did see your very, nice smiley face. You did see you smiling. you know, that was a stone cold face return. Just to give you an idea of the scenery here, it is the Mongkok district. It is midnight, a little past midnight. So as you can see, this end of the street is quite empty. But on the other end, traffic is flowing as usual. This is Bangkok Police Station. We're about 3-4 blocks away from the main protest area. And how we ended up here was they actually did a huge run around Mongkok. First, they took him near a taxi stand, better against that. Then they took him to a train stand. Then they thought better against that. Then they took him to a bus stand and thought better against that too. And finally, once they bumped into the senior officer, they said, "Look, you're on air. Take him to the station."
Now, James, do you have anyone with you? Is there any pro-Occupy people with you?
Okay. Okay. So one of the officers here has given me a report of lost stolen property. But what does this do? How do I know if the phone might have been returned to the station or not? Will that be checked? You mean that if someone finds we'll check do you have the person? I do, yes. Then maybe you could you would be better to match. Oh, I gave you my phone number already. You remember? But there's this one. Is it the same number? Same, yeah. Oh, no problem. It's the same number. After that, if someone returns it, yes. Okay. So after that, we'll call this number. Right. You provide for us. Okay. After that, we maybe for example, with Casey. I'm just wondering why I'm a Hong Kong citizen, right? Yes. Why could I not go inside our police station to report a crime? Because there's some case handling. I think maybe. I know there was one person who went in, but that doesn't stop other people from going in, right? Only one person going in cannot stop an entire police station. You may ask other police officers because they handle this case already. Okay. Okay. All right. Well, I can thank you for handling my phone case. So thank you. So he did help me get my lost or stolen phone report done. But as you see, I couldn't do it in the station, and I'm not allowed in the station, and that anti-Occupy suspect is still inside.
Can you see him, James? Can you see the Occupy protester?
See if there's any pro-protesters.
I mean, can you see the anti-Occupy protester, I mean, in the police station? Is he still within your sight?
No, okay, because about 15 minutes after being in the station, I could still visibly see him, and I had actually made a comment about it. He's not being booked, you're just hanging him in there until I leave. And after I threw that accusation, he disappeared from my sight.
And are there any pro-Occupy people with you?
It's a fun where they actually were going to let him go in the public, so on a public transport, but because he was being filmed, they at least did the activity of bringing him to the station, but they have no intention of booking him. They have no intention of charging him with a crime. They're pretty much just waiting for me to leave so that they can let him go.
Is there anyone with you that's pro-Occupy?
No, the pro-Occupy guys have actually gone to the other exit because I've got this exit. They're making sure they don't release him at another exit.
That's a shame. I don't suppose we have anyone on Twitter because it would be good to get you some backup so that maybe you can go to the other exit and 2 people can stay here.
Hi, are you with the students?
Huh?
Are you with the students?
Yes.
They brought one of the suspects here. So I actually followed them with people with construction around the site. The police were going to let them go at a taxi station, but because I was filming live, they decided that's bad PR, so they didn't put him in a taxi station. Then they were going to put him in the MTR, then they decided maybe not because I'm filming. So they did actually take him to the police station. So they brought the suspect here, and he's inside. But I stood out here for about 15 minutes, and they didn't book him. He's just sat in the lobby. So I want to make sure that they don't let him go. I think we can stay here while I circle the block, because I see there are other students who are blocking the other entrance. Do you mind watching here for like 5 minutes? Less than 5 minutes. I'm just going to circle the block. It's okay? Alright, so 5 minutes. These students here are going to stand the block, and we're just going to walk around and just to give you an evaluation of the whole situation. We're going to walk the block, and we'll be back. So we'll have to thank these students for guarding the spot for us, making sure that they don't release the suspect at the main entrance. Thank you, guys. We're just going to walk around. All right, so let's continue on.
Those police officers look really pissed off, don't they? They look so pissed off.
Their faces are very angry.
Right, come on. Let's go around the other exit. Let's go to the other exit. I don't want to piss them off too much.
Next time I do need police help, I do need police help. They're not coming to my house. I'm blacklisted for sure.
Yeah.
Just give me a minute here, please.
Yeah, the police are really getting a bad taste in their mouth about video cameras now that we can live stream.
Yeah. I wonder what they'll do about that. I'm surprised that the internet is so good and that they haven't cut that off. I mean, it would be trivial for them to do that. They must have thought of it already, that you're going to have conflicting interests with the telecoms companies that are, you know, it's obviously very anti-business and very against that profit incentive.
I don't know if this is going to be come up with the net neutrality business, or, you know, like I've said several times here that the cops, some of the cops have jammers in their car.
So, it'd be interesting to know how that technology works.
Jammers?
Yeah.
They just flood the signals because cell phones run on 800, 900 megahertz, and I don't remember what the other band is, but all they got to do is just jam those signals.
Right, right.
So it's really, is that what you're saying, Jamie? It's very easy for them to do it if they want to.
Yes. I mean, I can make a cell phone jammer or an internet jammer with very easily with just parts, off-the-shelf parts, or tearing apart a radio or something and resoldering it.
So
you can probably buy them right in Hong Kong there. If you go to an electronics store in Hong Kong, you can probably buy like a Wi-Fi jammer or a cell phone jammer. I'm sure they're illegal, but you can buy them. But I've had my access points for my Wi-Fi access points. I've had those go bad before, and then they become jammers because they start sending out bad signals, and then they'll just jam all the Wi-Fi in the area.
So this is the back of the police station. It's a huge station. We've literally circled the whole city block.
So there's nobody else there. That's regrettable.
Oh, looks like they've gone. So even if we want to release him in the back, he'd be released. He would have been. So
well, we got a good shot of him. I mean, we got a good facial kind of, you know. It sounds to me like we need some backup on the ground, mate. We need to recruit some more people for WCN so that we can have more than one stream, and then we can actually start circling these people.
Oh, we got Carol.
Get Carol and Kaka.
Yeah, let's get Carol and some of the Kaka and some of these other people.
Join in. We can have 3 streams going from WCN in Hong Kong. Live from Mong Kok Central and Causeway Bay, streaming simultaneously.
Well, we could get them all streaming in the same hangout.
Yeah, that's right. And they can do it on their own hangouts as well. I mean, it's not even... I mean, the only reason an advantage for WCN is that we already have 2,000 subscribers, so it just gets more attention more quickly.
So the back of the station,
You
can see the police vehicles. I've been honked by a policeman who's waved at me, you know.
Hello, policeman.
It was more like an apology wave for honking.
I mean, the individual police officers seem okay. It's just I think when the institution starts to bear down on them.
You're absolutely right, Chris. These are good police, you know. Most of
Mm,
these are good police. It's really from the top down that, I don't know what the right word is, brainwash them
mm.
way.
I think like that media reporter, that news anchor you looked at yesterday and talked to, his words were very telling. He said, "We're doing the best we can." It's almost like, look, I'm being told what to do here. I'm just trying to do the best that I can, and it doesn't sound like they are in a position to. Maybe you just have more courage than they do. Maybe the circumstances are different, and you have to walk a mile in someone else's shoes before you can really say anything about their decision making.
Well, that's the thing. I
Yeah,
have
it's hard. These guys do have families to support and
Hmm.
everything, and
Mm.
that's what it comes down to at the end of the day. They're like, yeah, I'd like to support it, but doing this
Yeah.
job, food on the table for my wife and kids,
Hmm.
and that's what drives them at the end of the day. And you always hear these cops and everybody, I just want to get home safe at night. Um, and it's terrible that that's how they choose to make their living, by basically oppressing people.
Yeah, that's right. We seem to have lost
Because
James's feed.
the greatest atrocities to man have been done by people just doing their job.
Yes. Yes, that's right. Um, it's impossible to be an impartial spectator. Like even if you don't intervene, that's still intervening. Someone coined a term to me the other day. I think they called them apaths, as it's like someone who is tolerant of psychopathy. So when they're around psychopaths, they just kind of let them be. They don't try to stop them. In fact, if anything, they facilitate them. And he used the term apath. An apath is someone who just a good person who lets bad people do bad things.
Or is apathetic to them, I believe.
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. I suppose so. Apathetic, yeah. Apath, yeah.
right, so if they did want to release him, he'd be gone. There are
Yeah.
just too many gaps. So the fact that they were actually holding him in the lobby for 15 minutes does show they are very conscious of the situation. They're trying to handle it as best as possible without damaging their image. It was very interesting to see. They were just ready to let him put him into that cab until I showed up with that camera. And they were ready to just let him go into the train station until I followed them into the train station. And then they realized, oh, we can't do anything here. We must let him go, at least take him to the station and appear like we're doing our jobs. Right.
And
So I'm just,
now, I missed out on the beginning of this. What did that guy actually do, or allegedly do?
Oh, some police have gone.
個人咧就搞事嘅，個學生入邊，咁啲差佬攞咗佢叫佢爭啲入的士，一睇我係入到佢，冇入的士，咁帶佢去地鐵站啦。不過我都一路跟住佢，咁佢想放佢地鐵站，我一跟佢又冇放佢地鐵站，終於都嚟到呢度，因為我拉住佢，所以。
What's happening now, James?
即係但係佢哋差館都佢3、4個只不過淨係坐落先啱啫，跟住好多差佬喺呢度。撳到唔俾我入，頭先近排咁多警，而家走曬啦。係咯，頭先我都睇到佢哋。See, now that I've cleared the area, let me try and go in now really
Let's see
quick.
if we can go in. Be careful with the camera in there.
Oh, so no photography. I'm gonna.
Ooh.
Alright, I'm backing up. I'm not taking a
James,
photo.
James, leave.
I'm
Don't
backing up.
get yourself into trouble.
I'm backing up. I'm backing up, please. I'm a,
James, just go out and see if you can.
have a good night. Enjoy. Good night. ông báo mạng hay chuyện kia rồi ở chỗ có bọn cao văn lại chuyện câu đấy nhớ thì bởi cho
James, talk to that protester guy. He just walks past you.
Over here next to me, next to the police station.
Yeah, if they don't want you near there, just step back, because otherwise it's going to cause aggro, and you're just going to get.
Actually, no. There's a reason I'm standing here, because right next to me, it looks like a it looks like an anti-Occupy guy, and he's in tattoos. He's clearly drunk. He might assault me.
I thought that was the chap that was holding the poster earlier.
See that? He was in the station hanging out with the cops. This thug with tattoos was just in the station. He was threatening me, and that lady kind of let him out.
He's very drunk.
And I felt threatened, so I'm standing right here. I'm not going near the drunk thug that was just allowed in the station. I'm not allowed there, but this thug is allowed in.
Let me just take a look through the footage, because I thought that was the guy that was holding that poster up.
No, that's another guy. This right here is another. Yeah. So I'm just going to stand right in front of the police door while he's next to me, so to make sure nothing happens. And if there is, there's plenty of cameras and evidence. Look at the thug. He's a drunk thug right now, and he just appeared from the police station. So I feel like my safety is a threat right now from this gentleman, so I'm not really going to go anywhere. Here we see as it is, right? So they've released this thug who's going back into the station now. Now that the thug's allowed in, so clearly you can see he's a gang member, and they do seem to be friendly towards the police. They do seem to know each other. You know, he's one of them, right? So that woman, actually, because she was so scared. You think you can send him out to threaten me? I'm not scared of one thug. You got to do better than that. You got to send 10 of them to scare me. So she thinks by sending out one thug, I'll be intimidated. Absolutely bullshit. Stay right here.
Well, James, it looks like that guy originally that was causing the trouble. He's long gone, right? Like, they've obviously let him go.
No,
that's what that looks like.
Yeah. So
that or in the back room somewhere.
But I don't see much use in you hanging around here now. It looks as though anything that may have happened is...
Did you see the police released one of their thug goons on me?
Yeah, I mean, he looks remarkably similar to that guy that was holding that placard. I got the footage back up.
Right.
It just looks like he's wearing a different top, that's all. It just looks like he's wearing a different shirt.
I think it's a different person, because I chased him down 10 blocks. I'm 100% sure it's a different thug that's in the station. So it does look like there is some collusion between these gangster thugs who are being welcome in the station, you know, while I'm not, right? That woman tried to chase me out, and while she was screaming at me...
That's because you've got a deadly weapon called a camera and a live stream.
Right, well, she sent one of her goons out to try and intimidate me. Well, I just hung out right by the police station, right? That's not going to chase me away. That's just going to make me happy.
He was very drunk. I mean, he was staggering and, like, falling over.
Right. I mean, I could have knocked him out if I wanted to, but no. I don't want to get in a fight, right?
Right. Okay, so what's the next step? I mean, can you talk us through what he actually did before we got on air? Was he violent? What was he doing?
He was causing a scene. He was screaming at the students. You know, not just you're blocking the roads type of screaming, but a very heavy cussing, personal insults at the students. Just things, it's not really things an an anti-party would chant, right? Normally you'd be chanting, you're blocking the roads or things like that, but this guy it was very personal, very vindictive attacks, you know? So he was just cussing at them and being very personal, causing a loud scene. He did push a few people, nothing too physical, just a few shoves here and there. So then but that's a big deal today. So about 30 to 40 police officers had rushed on the scene and just separated him from the rest of the crowd, and we were able to get on air right when he was being taken away. And so we followed the story from there. But as you see, all we did was walk around the front. We cleared the front, so the 10 officers in the front protecting that entrance was for me. Just specifically for me.
Yeah, you were only gone 5 minutes.
Right, and I was barely gone 5 minutes, and they couldn't even stand there for 5 minutes. And then that woman inside was all by herself, and then she was, freaking out when I walked into the station. She's freaking out. So now we're just headed back to the main protest site, which is a couple blocks away from here. I'm actually going to probably stop by and buy some food for everyone for a little midnight snack before just wrapping up and heading home.
Yeah, we should also remind people that we now have a new Bitcoin address for James, which is in the description below, so if you want to help those guys out. I'm also going to try and get VanityGen to generate us a nicer address for you as well. But it doesn't matter if we have more than one address, as long as everyone knows where it's going and you're able to document it being spent.
Right.
It would be nice to get something like HK689 or something.
That would be perfect. But it is a Bitcoin show. So is it true that there are security vulnerabilities if we use a vanity address?
No, not as long as you do it privately on a computer. It's only a problem if you go through one of these third-party services online. I understand that one of them actually did drain everyone's account. It was,
right.
I think people used it over Christmas as Christmas presents, and then, a few months later, all the money had gone.
Okay. Don't go through a third party for vanity address.
No, do it privately. There is actually a piece of software called VanityGen. It's very problematic if you're not tech savvy to install, because it's just written in C and it's in the command line, and there's lots of dependencies that you've got to install. So unless you're patient, it's not trivial to get working.
Can't you just do one off of bitaddress.org if you download the source from GitHub and boot to Tails from and then put in a USB drive with it on?
Yeah, but even with bitaddress, you can't. Bitaddress doesn't have the code to generate the vanity address, so you still have to. Oh, does it? Oh, okay. I'll check it out. I thought you had to use it in conjunction with something else.
Oh, maybe. I'll have to look. I've just done paper wallets with the GitHub source.
Yeah.
Tails.
But the thing I found really weird, though, as a Hong Kong citizen, is that ordinary citizens aren't being allowed in to a station for being report crimes, while there are these weird, thuggish, tattooed, drunk people who are free to be in there.
Yeah, that is very bizarre. I'm not entirely sure what that guy was doing at the end there, where he was just kind of staggering around.
Yeah, but I don't know that doesn't. Well, I don't know what the gang member.
He's definitely a gang member. I see a tattoo. Those are not regular tattoos.
Okay, but for drunks to be hanging around a police station at night, that isn't really that strange, because, especially in this part of the world, drunks hang around police stations all the time because they get arrested. And then they get arrested, and then they get bailed out, and then they can't drive or they can't leave, and so they're just kind of wander around outside the police stations. And then they're pissed, so they go in and then they kind of harass the cops.
So we need to get James a partner in crime. We need to get you somebody who can support you and, have another camera maybe that can, run around buildings and get a different angle, because the thing is, like, if a police officer were to come up to you and seize your phone, you also need someone to document you having your phone seized. It would be amazing if we could get two eyes in the same place so we can get a kind of stereo vision, you know, of what's going on.
You know, we can
Great earlier when Kaka was helping out.
definitely do that. I'll either ask Kaka or Carol to help, and we'll set that up in the next day or two.
That'd be amazing. And
Great.
also, we need to get you an audio splitter because the sound, like, really needs to improve. I mean, it's great actually. Like, anything is great, but it would be even better if we had a microphone situation.
Yeah, maybe we'll have to do some more testing off air and get that sorted out.
How's the audio right now?
Yeah, it's okay. It's just when you get in those frantic situations, you peak, and all we can hear is kind of noise and bustle, and actually that adds to the drama. And so I'm not worried about how it comes across to, you know, to the audience and whether or not we get drop off. I'm just interested in, like, if you're saying something that's important and it needs to be documented, we're not going to get that clearly, because as soon as this video is over, I'm going to timestamp this and put it on BitTorrent so that you know.
I want to buy some. So we're going to buy some food here for the purchases. 幾錢啊呢個？19蚊幾個？好，要啊20個20個啊，唔該。好啊。So we're gonna buy some snacks here. 好。20個幾個？20個啊？係。個啊？係。20個咩嘢？20個？要晒啦，俾晒啦。So we're just gonna take whatever they have here already cooked and deliver it to some of the guys for like a late night snack. This is some traditional Hong Kong street food. 你呢邊有啲咩㗎？
搞菜白菜。
係豬肉。
係啊，豬肉啊。
So it's pork and chives, pork and chive dumplings. And over here is tofu that's stuffed. 裏邊豆腐裏邊咩？
嗱，呢個餃子有10個，豆腐有10個。
係。So this is tofu, and inside is like a fish paste, and so that's what they've got over here. So WCM's kind of become a bit of like the travel channel as well, huh?
Yeah. Now I know what that stuff is that they sell at the Chinese restaurant that they have on their billboard. From Hong Kong. I like that guy. I talked to him a lot.
分開啊，唔該。我搭邊啦 ，OK。
You know, the guy that owns the Chinese restaurant here from Hong Kong, that is the fastest place you can get food in this town. It's amazing. And that guy just works so hard. It's 7 days a week. And I can order food from him, and I always joke that he makes it in his car because he can get food to me in like 5 minutes and bring it to my house. A lot of times I just go to their restaurant too, and he's just got this little restaurant that used to be a drive-up. And I don't know, I suppose a lot of places in the world don't know what a drive-up is, but in America, drive-up or drive-ins used to be a thing where it was just a little stand that they made the food in, and then cars would come in and they would just drive into a parking lot, and then waitresses would come out and get your order while you sat in your car. And you'd just sit there and eat your food while you were sitting in your car. And you see things like that in older American movies, like, I'm trying to think what that one is. American Graffiti is one movie where they had the girls on roller skates who'd come out and get your order and things like that. I think that's probably a pretty American thing where people don't want to get out of their car. Now everything is drive-through, where you go through and you order on a screen, and they talk through a microphone, and then you drive up and pay them in a window, and you go to another window and they hand you the food and you drive away, and then you go home and eat it, or you go somewhere else and eat it.
So we're going to continue on and buy some more street food here as a snack for some of the students.
There's a lot of street vendors there. Do they have, I suppose that they have to get like a license or something to be a street vendor, huh?
Almost certainly.
So we're buying sumai, and which is this yellow thing here, and we're buying some fish balls, which is a very popular snack for the locals. But that's not all we have. You can see there's some fish balls, some shrimp balls, bacon wrapped in sausage, fried octopus, some fried scallops and crab. These are crab claws. Hi, and you got some sausages, duck, chicken. These are like the insides of the meat, the insides of the beef. Some octopus.
Wow. See, and that's something I've never experienced, is that street food and with the street vendors like that. We don't have anything like that here, except for like at a fair. Carnival.
So this is what we've gotten for them. Sumai. You can see a giant bowl there. And the second one we're getting is these fish balls. And these are the two most popular street food snacks in Hong Kong. So we're going to go next door as well. So we'll pay first, and then we'll go next door. Gate China. Gate China. Bye, Gate China. 唔該，10串先買10串魚蛋嘅。唔使咯，少少啊，少少啊。係。可唔可以分開兩個盒啊？太多啦。可唔可以分開兩個盒？唔係，好多人食啊，可唔可以分？可唔可以分兩個盒啊？ 嗰個係特登設計嘅，你唔使分兩個盒。幾錢啊？50蚊。嚇？50啊？一萬啊？我簽俾你封價一萬啊？唔該。係50，唔使先買。唔該。有隻燒賣。有錢啊？係。唔該。 So we've got the receipt as well, just to prove to the relatives that you know, we are spending the food and their money. So they're saying very good because they know we're supporting the students here. They're saying, "Home guys, guy." So now we have lots and lots of snacks. We've got some sumai, some hagao, and sumai and udon, and we've got some tofu and dumplings. So we're now I'm gonna carry these snacks and take it to the middle. Not too sure how. We've got a bag on one hand, a camera on one hand, a mic in the other.
Well, you can always go off air, and then we can come back to you.
No, I've got a solution. Here we go. I can put the mic and the phone on the left hand like this, and I will carry the food on the right, and so. And now we're going to go deliver the snacks. Bye-bye. They're very nice. They're smiling, and they're very nice people. So, got plenty of snacks. So I might shake a little more than usual because I've got I've got a lot of stuff on me.
Yeah, don't worry. Pay attention to the cars on the road. Don't risk your life. So if you're just joining us, this is the World Crypto Network. We are live in Hong Kong like we have been every day now since near the beginning of the protests with James Bang, taking risks, going into police stations, putting himself on the line for us to bring us like right there, close to the action. And now he's just bought some food for the protesters that are funded by the good people of Our Bitcoin on Reddit. And so now he's just taking this food to the protesters. We did have an unfortunate incident early this week where James's phone with the private keys to that address that we were using before beginning 123 has now been stolen. So we've reported that to the police, and you must check the bottom of this description for the new Bitcoin donation address to the Hong Kong protest. But no funds were lost from the original donations. Just don't send any more money to that address. World Crypto Network will have the initial funding that was in there, 3.7 Bitcoins cleared, so don't worry about that. But
four Bitcoins myself.
yeah, James is going to cover those Bitcoins himself, but of course that doesn't mean that we're not going to rally around you, James, in the future. That won't be forgotten that you've done that, because you set up that initial Bitcoin address in haste. Someone just sort of said to you, like, can you set up a funding thing, and you did it on your phone, and you were very stressed out. You weren't getting any sleep, and you know, we could have supported you a bit better. So look, we're taking responsibility for it. We've just got to move on now. It's a teachable moment. But we've got a new address, and we're still delivering on our promise, which is that we're going to be supporting the people on the streets with food and anything else we feel, you know. And you can, of course, if out there, you can tell us what you want the money to be spent on. We'll do our best to try and facilitate any way we can.
Thank you.
Yeah, and yeah, it's great to be able to see a charity actually where your money goes directly to the people that you're donating it to and not middlemen.
Right, because 100% will go directly to people. Actually, more than that, 110-20% is because my time, I'm not getting paid for this to go out and buy the food and deliver it, the transport from site to site. I'm doing this voluntarily, so definitely more than 100% of the money actually goes directly to the protest. So this could be a future model where if you have a trusted person on the ground, you can send funds to them, and if they're willing to help out the cause in any way, you know, why send it to the Red Cross, right? Why not send it to someone directly on the ground who can buy the supplies there?
Yeah, I think that's the future of charities with Bitcoin and things like that, where we can instantly fund a project anywhere in the world by setting up a multi-signature wallet. I think is the key. And then if one person loses their phone or their key, it's not an issue. And
that's right. Although I would say, Jamie, that I did extensive amounts of testing and research in this area, and I would say that the technology for multi-sig isn't quite there yet. I wasn't prepared to set up a multi-sig for James in Hong Kong because Copay was being very glitchy. We were having problems creating the initial address. It kept timing out every time we got the third person to join. I looked at the backup. Now, I'm reassured that you can actually run BitPay's Copay product locally from your own local host. You can download the source code from GitHub. You can run a local host, you know, through the browser, and rather than connect to an external IP, you can connect to a local IP, and you can restore the wallet from your local server. I'm reassured by that, and actually, of course, you can just decrypt the JSON backup that they give you. However, it does the way that the file is handled is it's handled in the browser's local storage. Each signatory in the chain, 3 people, have to be very careful in the way they handle that file, because I noticed that it creates change addresses. I believe the change addresses are handled with BIP32. That means they're deterministic, which means that as long as 2 out of the 3 people keep a good backup from the seed at the beginning, you should be able to recover all the funds. But I wasn't willing to take a chance with something this important. So what I've done for the meantime is set up an offline wallet. That means the private keys for the current address in the description below are not touching an internet connection, and they will not touch an internet connection. I have them on a dedicated computer which has no network capability. I'm able to sign it using a piece of software which I use via USB, and I ferry between an online computer and an offline computer. Yes, it's a pain in the ass. Yes, it takes half an hour to process each transaction, but security is paramount, and obviously it's not located with me or most of the time, so it's not like you could just hunt me down. So I went out my way to ensure that the funds are well protected, and I am looking at the moment into getting VanityGen set up so we can get a nice looking, nice looking Bitcoin address for James and the Occupy people. I think that would be very apt. But this is a great case study of how this can happen. It's not ideal. Yes, it would be better if we had a multi-sig, obviously, but I wasn't prepared to risk it for something this important.
Well, it's a learning opportunity for us to experiment with this and find the solution that we need to set up this model for the future.
Absolutely.
Because, yeah, as soon as James told me about that, I'm like, oh, multi-sig would have been perfect for this.
Yeah, well, we're finding even with Armory is an absolute pain because you have to send around the signature. So one person has to sign it, you have to send it to someone else. There's too much latency because we're all in different time zones. It takes several days to process a transaction.
Yeah, what I was thinking, and I don't remember exactly what it was. I think it was Counterparty that I had used before, and that seemed pretty slick.
Now let's see James, what's happening now? Oh, this is the chap. Here he is. Okay, this is the guy from earlier that was holding up the cardboard that I thought was the same guy that was coming out.
Okay, it's just your video on the big screen now?
Yeah, we don't have his sound, and I can't unmute him from here. Let me get him on Skype.
Oh, yeah, he's the guy that was standing in front of the police station with that sign.
Yeah,
and
different.
The sign is in Chinese with all those. He's a pro-student supporter.
Yeah, we seem to have lost James's sound. I'm just communicating with him on Skype.
The other guy that James figured was a gang member that was drunk was quite a bit younger, he looked.
Yeah.
It's 12:50 a.m.
Where James is, yeah, it's 12:15, approaching 1 o'clock in the morning. He's out in Hong Kong, and he seems to have muted himself. I'm not sure if he knows that, but it's muted in the actual software, so it's not that his microphone has been muted. Oh, here we go. Yeah, hi there.
I just heard you guys say I was muted.
Yeah.
So we're back in the center where I brought some of the snacks now.
Great.
My boxes are falling off. So I've lost steam plate now that if I don't wear jeans, if I don't wear belts. Yes, I'm just going to give the food here in the middle, and then we're just going to head away. 有啲好多嘢食啊，魚蛋啊、燒賣啊，好多好多出邊嗰啲 snack 咧，買咗好多過嚟啦。Oh, you're welcome. You're welcome. You're welcome. 好多燒賣，幾百個啊，幾十串撈咗4個盒啊，應該有40串。You're welcome. You're welcome. All right. So we've done our job tonight. We've helped and we've given snacks in Mongkok. So tonight we've given food to Admiralty and Mongkok, and we can continue tomorrow. So now it's 10 a.m. So I think everyone's good for the night. We've served dinner and we've now served a late night snack. 外國嗰度好多人係外國嗰邊我韓國 thank you thank you 係多謝 good night bye bye 多謝 bye I don't really like getting all that applause. I don't feel like, I deserve it, so I'm just going to walk away. I don't feel uncomfortable getting that applause. Walk away from there.
Magic food from the internet using magic internet money.
Yes, magic internet money made you magic food.
And James, excuse me. James, on the point you made earlier about you not being paid for this, you are being paid in reputation. Like people are gonna, you're building a trust in a network of people, and I think that's the most important currency at the moment, because people are too busy trying to make money, and really money is just a proxy for our humanity. And if you're doing this stuff, people are going to remember that you've done this, and so that don't worry about it. It's all going to come back to you in time. It's just you just have to keep up the energy and keep doing the right thing, even if everyone else around you is completely in their own world.
It sounds like you're talking about karma.
Yeah, I mean, I suppose I am. I'm just not using that language, am I? But yeah, I mean, all I mean is the memory. I'm just saying, people will remember what you've done. That's all, and that's not going to go.
I'd heard a good saying one day that was, live your life so if people speak bad about you, it's not the question of if you've done it or not, it's that no one would ever believe that you've done such a thing.
Yes, exactly.
That's really a great way to live your life. That would be a great way.
And also, the way Socrates says, where you live your life the way you want to be remembered, and I think that's very important too.
Yes. So this is actually you can see a lot of umbrella art here at the Occupy movement, and this is just a new one that I've come across. I haven't seen this one before. But it's 1 a.m. Things are calm. Protesters are just hung out on the side, maybe getting ready to sleep. A lot of them. Everything's very calm and peaceful here on Nathan Road. On the side, you have people reading the posters, the home printed posters that we featured yesterday. And just below there, next to them, are plainclothes officers, also rather peaceful on the side here. So whether it's protesters or plainclothes officers, everyone's just hanging out side by side, not much tension, not much going on here, 1 a.m. Tuesday. So it looks like everything's under control.
Yeah, that's really great, James. Could you just say something about the long-term prospects for this movement? I mean, you guys seem to be going strong. You're dropping a little bit out of the headlines just because we have Ebola and ISIS airstrikes in Syria at the moment. But how do you feel this is going medium to long term?
I think in the short term we definitely do have a big victory here. No one expected the protests to be anywhere near as large as this, or to occupy as many places, or to even last as long as it has. So no matter what happens, I believe we already have achieved some kind of a win, but that's more of a moral win, right? We really have to do something politically. There has to be some kind of process or progress that's shown towards universal suffrage and the rights for the citizens here to nominate their own chief executive. But there's just not much, I believe, Beijing's willing to budge on that. So even the talks that are going to be held on Friday with Carrie Lam, the deputy chief secretary, what's not on the agenda is full universal suffrage, right? The only things that are on the agenda is maybe increasing the diversity of the 1,200 people who are going to vote. Maybe they're not all pro-Beijingers. Maybe they'll just throw in a few Democrats to, you know, just to make them happy. But it doesn't seem like sincere negotiations. It doesn't seem like they're willing to give up anything concrete that will lead to any kind of real universal suffrage, or to allow the Hong Kong people to truly nominate their nominees in the chief executive election process. So I'm not too optimistic in the long term of genuine reform, but I do think the impact of this movement is going to be much bigger than just whether or not Hong Kong gets universal suffrage. I think we've shown the world that there is a different way to do this. So I do think there's going to be a bigger impact of the umbrella revolution. That might not be for democracy, but just another way, inspiring other ways of protest.
Yeah, absolutely, because as we saw with the original Occupy movement a few years ago, eventually it just kind of tapered down, and it seemed to, in the eyes of the public anyway, it just seemed to disappear. And I'm just, you know, I just want to keep this in the public consciousness if I can, because like you say, you are showing people an alternative way of protesting that is non-violent.
Absolutely. We are showing the world a very different way of how to protest. I haven't seen public property get destroyed, cars get turned over, vandalism, right? These are normally things that you do see in a protest. But we've seen none of that. We've seen recycling, we've seen people picking up after themselves, community just coming together, volunteering on public service works, things that are normally done by the government, currently being done by the citizens.
Yeah, we covered that quite a bit earlier this morning, and we showed like the bathrooms and stuff there that were really contrary to the common theory of the tragedy of the commons.
Absolutely, Chris. Earlier we featured Kaka showed pictures of the women's bathroom, and in it were facial masks, almost like it was like a spa in there. The amenities that they had in the female bathroom, there was Burberry lotion, facial masks, and none of them were being nicked. I mean, people were just literally using what they needed to use and leaving the rest for everyone else. So the theory that if you put nice stuff out for people to use, it'll just get stolen, well, I think we here in Hong Kong have proven otherwise.
Well, it's based on interconnectedness. If people feel connected as part of a community, and if they feel that their actions will stay within the confines of that locality, then they won't steal because they want to feel as though they're part of the whole. It's only really when you get into these kind of city environments, particularly like London, where people won't even stop to talk to each other in the street. In fact, I believe you get fined if you talk to a stranger in London. I'm not sure about that. I'll have to check. But it certainly feels that way, right? Like when you're on public transport, like you're not supposed to talk to each other. And that's because everyone's got their own private projects. Everyone's going their own way. You join a company and you try to persuade another group of people to buy something that you've got to sell for more than you bought it for, and then you collude with your co-workers to try and do that. Everyone is pitched against each other. But you guys in Hong Kong have rallied around a cause and something to believe in. And also, I think because you've got this very natural, ingrained, peaceful nature to a lot of the people there, then that isn't what we've seen in other places of the world, like Ferguson, where there perhaps was some underlying tension and there were some bad apples within the protest movement who just, like in London too, a couple of years ago, who just want to take advantage of the situation and be opportunists and start looting and so on. You've completely shown people with demonstrably how to do this differently.
Right. And what we hope, and what a lot of people hope, is that this kindness and this act of generosity doesn't end here, right? It doesn't end when this Occupy Hong Kong movement ends, and that it continues and resonates for everyday life, where people do continue opening doors, being polite and courteous. There was a joke that the British, that they left their manners behind here, right, and that it's still with Hong Kong people. But actually, to be honest with you, We don't see that in day-to-day life. You don't see that level of politeness. Actually, I was saying, when we walk by normal streets, it's not as crowded as this, but people bump into each other all the time and cuss at each other for bumping into each other. Here, it's that much more crowded, but people go out of their way to make sure that they're not hitting other people, and if they do, they make sure the word sorry comes out before the other person can even say it's okay, right? Just the level of respect amongst each other, to person to person, is just a level I've never seen before. Like, if it rains, umbrellas are being offered to people. You know, if someone looks hungry or thirsty, they're being offered food and drinks. I've been offered water many times while walking around. So it's just a really warm feeling. There's no other way to describe it, but the emotion here, it's just a very nice, feels like a very nice community when you're right here. It just feels like one big family. It's very easy to make friends, like Kaka or Carol, just people you bump into. They're willing to talk to you right on the spot. You know, they're friendly with you. And that's just something I've never witnessed or seen in regular Hong Kong day-to-day life.
Well, that's really great, and it's great that you can bring that to us. What do you want to do now, James? Do you want to get some rest? You've been bringing us some great footage. I mean,
yeah. So I'll actually just walk down. We're on Argyle Street, Nathan Road here. So I'm just going to walk down here and see what's going on, because normally that's where a lot of the trouble was the last few nights. So we'll just head down there and sign off from that location, because I doubt that.
Okay.
But we'll just get the end of the zone and see what it looks like tonight.
Yeah, Kaka had pictures too of college students actually scrubbing the fixtures and sink and stuff in the bathroom, which, I mean, she said, you know, these kids probably wouldn't be doing that in their own rooms, much less in a public area, which I thought was really interesting.
Students, they would never even clean their own bathrooms, right? But they're out here cleaning public toilets. It's truly amazing.
I've always said you can tell the quality of a township or a city by the quality of the public toilets. It's a real test of people's commitment to the community, I think.
So I believe this is like a fortune-telling place where you can tell your fortune. Do you want your fortune told?
Absolutely.
喺唔喺度都可唔可以做㗎？睇個樣，like 呢啲睇佢個樣做唔做到㗎？
We might as well suck up some of the local culture.
Through looking at your face via video. I was going to get your fortune read, Chris or James. You guys do have to be here.
Oh, we got to be in person to do it? They can't do internet fortune?
Right.
That's old tech.
They're unable to read your fortune without you being here via video.
So James, are you on the new microphone? Is it working?
It's working.
Cool. Okay.
Yeah, we just need to work on the levels a little bit.
Yeah, we just need to get the levels working. It sounded a lot better when we did our sound check privately. Sod's law, as soon as we go on air, it starts to... But yeah, you need to maybe put a bit more distance from it.
Okay, is that better?
Yes, that's much better. That's much better.
Oh, so it is really sensitive, because there's actually no mouth. It's actually nearer towards my foot, my knee.
Right, right. Yeah,
they're
normally
really sensitive.
If you hold it at your chest, it'll be a bit more boomy. You'll get a little bit of resonance. It's an end address microphone, which means it takes it from the end, from the tip.
Okay. So we're just going to continue on down here, where there's a second fortune teller. So it's kind of become a bit of a fortune teller's alley here. So you can see here on the left we have a second. Oh, actually you can't, because the camera's on me. So we're going to switch the camera around, and you can see actually there's a second fortune teller here. And next to there should be the end of the barricades.
They're missing out on a huge Bitcoin market from not doing fortunes over the internet.
Yeah, she said apparently she can't do it by just looking at your faces. She said you have to be here in person. So
I can hold my
unfortunately,
phone up.
unfortunately, we couldn't have your fortune told today, but maybe another one can. So now,
I think there's an app for my phone that can do it.
so you can see the numbers have dwindled. Normally, this back end here would be full of students, but there's only a small group now in the middle. So support is clearly dying down. It's only 1 a.m., right? Even last night at 1 a.m., the crowds were twice the size as it is today. Even the presence of the police has reduced greatly. Yesterday there might have been a couple hundred officers here, but today there's maybe less than 100. So definitely things are different. There's less protesters, there's less officers, things are calm. And I believe that is the situation because negotiations are set, discussions are set for Friday afternoon, so why rock the boat before Friday afternoon?
Right.
Let them sit there, police will keep their distance, just let's see how negotiations go on Friday. And I've clearly been recognized. I can overhear them saying, that's the troublemaker who was here yesterday.
Getting yourself quite the reputation there, James.
Quite the reputation here. They do love me here in Hong Kong.
We may have to airlift you out of the situation if you keep up this good work. We may have to come and rescue you, take you to a safe harbor somewhere.
After this, he has quite a resume for broadcasting.
Oh yeah, you've done a superb job.
Get a job anywhere in the world.
And you put all the mainstream media to absolute shame because you have clearly demonstrated that you were able to capture some of this amazing, relevant, just very relevant material that they're not getting because they're standing on top of the station in the middle of it all with their zoom lenses and they're not actually getting close to the action.
You mean up there, right?
That's right. That's where they are. And the problem is they're just being lazy. And a sign, I used to be a photographer, and a sign of a lazy photographer is someone who just puts on a zoom lens and just stays where they are and just pivots on the same point. Photography and journalism is all in your feet. It's about being in the right place at the right time, and that takes sagacity. It takes awareness of opportunity and to see the potential of what might happen in the future by understanding what is now. So you look around you and you just see the potential, and you've got a really good eye for that, James. You just get yourself into exactly the right location. Sometimes you're too good at it, and I fear that you're going to end up getting yourself arrested, and then you're not going to be any good to us. But no, please carry on.
Confidence of being at the right place at the right time each situation.
Yeah, you're very good at that. It takes intuition. It's not easy to codify in a journalism course, but it takes real sagacity and sharp awareness of what's going on because you are like immersed in it, like you are part of it. So a journalist coming from the outside isn't going to have the same attunement with the situation that you are because they just got off a plane and they've got a job to do and they've got a deadline to meet and they've constantly got that sub-editor on email who's pestering them. They're not ingrained in that situation, so they're never going to get
I got to go out and get 2 hours worth of footage and then cut it down to this and that. They don't give a shit.
Right.
They're just working to a deadline. They've got a job to do.
I got a friend that's a journalism professor that I worked with for several years, and I really should talk to him about some of the stuff we're doing here at the World Crypto Network.
Let's get him on. Let's get him on because I also want to talk to somebody who's pro Communist Party in China. I want to get the other side of this. And one of the ideas behind open source journalism, although it was a coined term back in '99 in Salon, I still don't feel like there have been any open source journalists. Open source journalists means that all of our material gets time-stamped, if not revealed. What's going on now? We got somebody on?
So, Chris, I have you on the big screen, and the lady, the fortune teller, she is looking at you right now, and she's trying to decide. She's analyzing your face to see, read it enough to tell your fortune. So stay right there.
Okay, I'm staying. Not going anywhere. Look into the camera.
呢種值得500嘅，收200嘅。呢種真係一個偶像，講真。 貴氣上，係嘛？之後講佢
British asshole.
I'm not trying to take it.
佢唱都係好貴氣唱㗎嘛，都係一個好唱。
So I'm having a fortune told live on air.
Face.
Very first time on World Crypto Network.
Always making history.
又會第二個嚇，我講呢個唱啦，呢個唱咩年出世？幾歲啊？
Okay, Chris, how old are you?
34.
34.
34，
係。
34，一條命34嘅羊年出世。
You were born in 1979?
1980.
1980.
80
係。
80馬騮，馬騮嚟。
Marla.
呢個
So you're the year of the monkey is what she's saying in Chinese years. You were born in the year of the monkey.
Okay.
呢個唱好唱喎，呢個講呢個唱啊，呢個唱叫做人叻仔，
You're very smart, intelligent.
係嘛？
係啊
叻仔聰明。
You're very smart,
第一
intelligent.
聰明啊，第二做人聰明嘅啫。
You're very
不過做人蠱惑唔老實。
佢呢個唱咧咁樣講，
係。
人地相對個人口硬心軟咧。咁喺呢個唱嚟講咧，就好聰明嘅。但係嚟講
Your
咧，
intelligence is very high. Your intelligence level is very high.
不過咧好多古惑嘢佢都識。不過係
You know a lot of areas you probably shouldn't know about. You know too much.
Yeah. People
What's
are
going to
talking-
happen with his future?
Yeah. What's my future?
咁你嘅咪而家5年2-3年之後會點樣啊？
我講識我同你唱你喎。今年34、35，今年馬騮年出世，兆明出年後年，2004要過到真正嘅工作成功順利，行大運起碼要過到16年。
16年。After 2016, you 個工作啊。
工作。
Your broadcasting or your career is going to be amazing in the year 2016. 係咪要過
過到16年。
2016就唔好，2017係好啊。
好
2016就唔好。
16年嗰年都冇。
So beginning from 2016, so towards the 2016 onwards is when your career really pick up. So 2017 might be your year, your great year.
Wow. Okay.
How about me?
Yeah.
The year 2016 for you, Chris, leading up to 2017, which is your
Oh,
peak
yeah,
point.
I'm looking up the year of the monkey right now, and one of my lucky numbers is actually the number 8. So that's interesting, because that actually is one of my favorite numbers, number 8, and it's saying here that if you're born in the year of the monkey, 8 is a lucky number.
唱啊嘛，我都要10幾人大運。
And Jamie wants
What's
to
my
have a
fortune?
go.
咁佢就夠啦，佢就夠啦。呢個人咧，
係咪？呢個咩年出世？
how old are you, Jamie?
I am 44. I was born in 1969. My birthday is on Sunday. I'll be 45 on Sunday.
When's your birthday?
Sunday,
What month?
雞年出世，今年
October. This coming Sunday in 4 days.
Oh. So now you're 44?
Yes, I'll be 45 on Sunday.
咁個星期會變45，而家就44。
而家40
幾日之後會45。
係啊，45即係雞年嘅雞年啊
，So you're 1969?
Yes.
69。
Okay, so you're a chicken.
Quack.
出年開始好兩橫㗎嘛，
佢大把人跟住揾食啊呢個。
係咪？出年呢個仲啱做老細，
Oh, he says
做大佬。
your personality is you're not an employee type. You're more like a founder or independent type of a person. You're not going to work for anyone.
Okay.
開始運氣好旺嘅。2017年、15年、16、17好旺嘅喎，呢幾年運氣好大橫嘅喎。
好定唔好啊？
好啊，
幾年？
出年
今年啊？
今年未唔係咁樣。
咩年？
出年
Next year. Next year is your year, Jamie.
Next year?
So,
Awesome. I don't have to wait as long as Chris.
2015, 16, 17. The next 3 years are hot for you, Jamie. So
Awesome.
Chris Chris has to more like wait towards 2017 for his peak, but your stuff is starting next year.
Does she do cats?
冇咧，
我有肥嘅，都好靚。猛面都好大橫，呢隻猛面都好靚嘅。
個貓啊？
佢嗰個唱，
哦，係佢嘅相。
佢條猛面都好靚。
She really likes you, Jamie.
係嘛？呢個算做
She's impressed at your face
扮字
structure.
好成功嘅，做人
I
我
like
唔
to
理。
get around and joke a lot, so I'm a happy-go-lucky guy.
You know, I do find it interesting that they put the intelligence on Chris and the independence on Jamie, and they've never met you guys, which is really interesting.
Hmm.
工作棘佢都唔嚟。
But Jamie, in terms of career, you're not going to have a good career this year.
佢行到橫。
工作
That's
係幾
okay. The year's almost done.
不過真正係咁靚，今年下半年12月。
Jamie,
11月、12月開始話佢佔翻好嘅喎。
下年啊 for you, come year, so for you, next year's your year. So ignore this year, but it's almost the end of the year, so don't worry about it. You're almost there.
係嘛？佢仲可以喎。
No problem. She has a great smile.
Chris, put your head up a bit more. The bottom line's covering you. Oh, there you go.
And smile, Chris.
So now I'm going to pay them for reading both your fortunes, okay? I'm going to...
And this is where the Reddit funds are going. They're going on fortune tellers.
Oh, we should have asked him what the Bitcoin price is going to do.
This isn't the Reddit money. I'm just paying it myself for you guys. Let me just find another red one here. I told them I'd give them 200. So one for Chris, $100. It's like a tenner, and one for you, Jamie.
Oh, thank you.
$100 for reading your faces and broadcasting it live. Now, if we have anyone who's a you know what? Tomorrow maybe Kaka or someone can translate see what your fortune is for you guys. You can have it retold in English, right?
That was fun.
That was fun. 佢哋話好玩，好好。因為而家咧，我就係香港啦 ，Chris 又係英國啦，同埋Jamie 喺度就係美國。咁而家係所有3個國家而家。
Thank
係香
you.
港。美國係啊，He says hi，佢話 hello 嘅。係。
呢個靚仔唱好靚。
哦，係啊。
佢仲好
佢好聰明㗎，真係。好聰明喎，呢個係啊。Chris, you are so. They're calling you like a real brainy, smart, highly intelligent. They won't stop talking about how much knowledge you have in you, which is driving me crazy because they're so accurate. You are one of the most highly intelligent people I've met, and they're really hammering on that point about you.
Well, that's very kind. My ego enjoys that kind of praise. I'm not sure I do, but my ego does.
Maybe they see you being a very international person in the next couple of years, traveling from country to country.
Okay.
This all sounds very right.
There you go. You got good things, the two of you. So they've got really good stuff.
I'm going to get out of the north woods of Wisconsin.
It's fun. So you can
I'm
thank
going to
Miss.
see a subway in real life.
So let's say goodbye now, and we're going to keep on going.
Okay, bye. Thank you.
Goodbye. Yeah, thank you so much.
Anyway, that's it. Bye-bye. Bye.
That was fun.
翻嚟啊，唔該，多謝，每日都喺度啦，係啊。So they said, what about you, James? It's time for you to read your fortune. So I'm going to be back tomorrow and have my fortune read as well. But I think this is a good way to kind of end the broadcast. I think we've had a bit of fun here. We've had some serious time as well at the station. We've managed to show the different crowds some of the artwork. So I think we've had a very nice, eventful stream tonight.
No, it's been absolutely fantastic, and it's block height 324,429. That's a 3-minute-old block. Merkle root 822, 862CA. So that's been fantastic. Thanks so much for all the work you've been doing, James. That's been really, really cool.
You're
Yeah,
welcome.
it's been brilliant.
My camera's doing all kinds of crazy shit. But thank you very much. And yeah, I guess we'll catch up later on Skype as we have been. And you can join us later on. We should have the Bitcoin Talk Show coming up in a few hours. And all that's left to say is thank you for being with us. You can follow us at World Crypto Net on Twitter. You can follow me at Mr. Chris Ellis. Also check out Jamie Nelson. At Jamie Nelson1 on Twitter. And you are PR Hacks on Twitter. Is that right, James? At PR Hacks. And if you find out all the information in the description below, I'll update it just after we finish the broadcast. Thank you, and see you next time.
Good night.